Chapter 2. Back in the motel cabin, I toweled off and started to put on some dry clothes. I thought about what had happened. Did the dolphin really talk to me? Weirder things than that have happened. But why me? Mel and Shirley had known Ralph and Fluffy for years. Wouldn't Fluffy have picked them instead? Had it just been in my mind? I wanted to see if it would happen again. So instead of putting on dry clothes, I threw on my swimsuit. When I got back to the pool, Mel and Shirley were playing Scrabble again. Hey Shirley, get out of here, Mel was saying. That isn't a real word. Shirley looked up and saw me. Zack, it looks like you're ready for a real swim. Do you want to go to the beach? Well, I said, I was kind of wondering if I could maybe swim around with Ralph and Fluffy. That's when I looked over and saw that Ralph and Fluffy weren't in the pool. Hey, where did they go? The pool cleaners are coming, so we put the kids in the side pool for a while. Shirley pointed to a smaller pool that was connected to the big one by a little underwater door. Hey Zack, said Mel, how's about taking a spin on a ride instead? We've got a couple that will really knock your socks off. I doubted that their rides would knock my socks off, even if I was wearing any. But I didn't want to hurt Mel's feelings, so I followed him to the driving dolphins ride. It's like those kiddie airplane rides. The planes go around in circles, and you make them go up and down with a joystick. Well, this ride had dolphins instead of planes. Get ready for the ride of your life, said Mel. Then he started the ride. Frankly, I've been on scarier rides, driving with my dad on the West Side Highway in New York. Mel and Shirley's place is probably a blast for 3-year-olds, but Mel looked so excited, I couldn't let him down. Ooh, wow, 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 I yelled. This is great. I threw my hands in the air and let out a couple of screams. After about 20 minutes, Mel stopped the ride and I got out. Was that great or was that great? Said Mel. It was great, I said. I'd forgotten how nice it is to see kids enjoying the rides. Nobody's been on these for a month, Shirley said sadly. You're not doing so great, huh? I said. The big parks are trying to drive us little guys out of business, said Shirley. They have lots of money to get the big rides, to get the big animal acts, and to run big ads. We can't really compete with them. If things don't get better soon, well, I'm afraid we're going to have to close. Now Shirley looked like she was going to cry. I felt really sorry for them. If you had to close the park, I said, what would happen to Ralph and Fluffy? Lots of people know about Ralph and Fluffy, how smart they are. Mel told me. We've had lots of offers for them from the bigger parks, especially from an awful man who calls himself Long John Silversky-Nigel. He owns a new theme park called Human Skull Island. Oh, right, Human Skull Island. Dad and I had seen 4 or 5 huge billboards for it on the way to Mel and Shirley's place. It looked kind of cool, but I didn't say that to Mel and Shirley. That bum, said Mel, shaking his head. I wouldn't sell him Ralph and Fluffy for all the tea in China. I don't blame you, I said. I mean, what would you do? What would you do with that much tea anyway? That's just an expression, dear, said Shirley. We wouldn't sell Ralph and Fluffy to anybody. They are like children to us. Just then, a grubby green VW van pulled up to the front entrance of the park. 2 guys with a beard got out of it. One was tall and fat. The other was short and skinny. Look, I said, customers. Mel and Shirley looked over at the van. No, Zack, said Shirley. Those are the pool cleaners, Horace and Boris. We left the rides and walked back to the pool. Horace and Boris pulled out long poles with brushes and went to work. Mel and Shirley looked like they really wanted to finish their Scrabble game. So I went over to the smaller pool and watched Ralph and Fluffy. They were swimming round and round, taking turns chasing each other. I wondered if they'd ever talk to me again. I waved at them. They turned over on their backs and waved their flippers. Ralph? Fluffy? I said. Can you understand me? They didn't look like they even heard me. If you can understand me, I said. Please say something. Anything at all. Nothing. So it had to be one of 2 things. Either it had all been in my mind, or else it only worked underwater. I wished Horace and Boris would finish so I could find out. About 15 minutes later, Horace and Boris let the dolphins back into the big pool. Ralph splashed them, but not in a playful way. Floppy blew water from her blowhole all over them. I could tell Ralph and Fluffy didn't like the pool cleaners, and I could tell the pool cleaners didn't like the dolphins either. You think you're so clever, I heard Horace muttered. Well, just you wait. You may not be around here much longer. Wow, what did that mean? Was it some kind of threat? If Ralph and Fluffy would ever talk to me again, maybe I'd find out.